With fewer young people watching TV news, one thing is clear. Newsrooms need to change. But what can they do to help engage young audiences? Well, here in Spokane, KREM 2 News has the story. KREM is just one of 64 news brands owned by Tegna, a nationwide media company that reaches nearly 40% of household TVs. But there's always room to grow, and hiring new journalists is senior recruiter Noah Cooper's specialty.
People that I'm going to be talking to tomorrow, like Howard's one of them. He used to run Dell, right?
I really enjoyed bringing people in and then developing them and then pushing them up into a larger, bigger position inside of Tegna as a journalist.
Who wants to hold it? You feel heavy. That's the shoulder mounted camera. Feel how heavy that is? Just don't drop it.
We used to guess. We'd come in every day and we'd guess about what we think people wanted to see on TV. The great thing about social media in 2024, we don't have to guess anymore. They're telling us exactly what they want.
And with each new form of social media, the need for younger journalists increases. According to Pew Research Center in 2023, more than half of adults got their news from mobile devices, a fact that newsrooms can't escape but must adapt to.
Tegna relies on college students heavily in all of our newsrooms and early career talent coming right out of school. First off, you're digital natives, so you can teach people with hair the color of mine how to use some of these social platforms to figure out what the audience wants.
I interviewed with Noah when I started at KREM as an intern. I always complain about going to work because I'm always like, oh, like getting up and like going in the morning and like all this stuff is such a drag. But then when I get here, I enjoy every single day. I will go and I'll like share my newscast like with my social media. So I'll be like, oh, watch like KREM 2 News at 5 because that's the show I'm producing. So it kind of like allows other young people to also watch news.
Joining us tonight for KREM 2 News.
It used to be you just kind of came into a newsroom, you didn't say much in your first year or two, and you just kind of watched what everybody else was doing and followed them. That's kind of the way I came up. Now what we're looking for is for our younger journalists, our more experienced journalists to have a significant voice in what we cover and how we cover it.
When I started as an intern, it was very like, I'm never gonna get trusted here and I don't trust myself to do anything. But then immediately was told that like I should do the 4:30 by myself.
You know, the person in the corner that's been there for 20 years isn't necessarily always right on the way things should be.
Do you think because I'm younger that either I'm not as experienced in things or like, oh, I shouldn't know how to do some things because I'm only 21 and I'm the youngest in the newsroom? But I think the cool thing about news is that you're constantly hiring new talent.
Inexperience doesn't mean you don't have a voice. Sometimes your inexperience helps us make decisions.
The trust and respect that I've earned in this newsroom has allowed me to really like come into my own. It also proves that they're willing to hire younger people with different ideas.
If they can't figure out why we're doing it this, and I don't have a great answer as to why we're doing it that way, we probably need to do it differently to make it better.
What I would say to like younger people wanting to get into news is that if you want to see change, you have to be the change. If you don't like how things are being done, you should go do it.
And while there's no way to tell what changes will come next, it's the new ideas and new voices that will help reach new generations. Reporting for GUTV, I'm Joe Iarardi.